detectives, to be precise. We're tackling a case that honestly looks impossible at first glance, like completely unsolvable. So this is our crime scene. Just take a look at it. It's this long, chaotic, super intimidating polynomial equation. We're talking 13 terms, these gigantic numbers. I mean, let's be real, it's a total mess. So you look at this, and the first thought that pops into your head is, where do you even start? Right? How would you possibly begin to untangle something like this? Well, like any good detective knows, when you've got a case this complicated, you don't just rush in. No, you need a special tool. You need something like a forensic device, but for math. And this is our secret weapon. It's called Morad Sultan Azuidi's theorem. Now, what's so cool about this is that it doesn't just spit out the answer. Instead, its job is to find hidden clues, let's call them simplifying numbers, that are buried deep inside all that chaos. Okay, so we've got our tool. It's time to start the investigation. We're officially on the hunt for these crucial simplifying numbers. The theorem actually calls them S values. And the process here is super systematic. Think of it like dusting for fingerprints at a crime scene. We're going to apply the theorem 12 separate times for 12 different values of k, starting at 0 and going all the way up to 11. And each time we're hoping to find one of those clues, an SK value. So, first test, we'll start with k equals 0. We run the numbers through the theorem, and what do we get? Our first clue, S0, is 0. Okay, interesting. Let's log that.
All right, let's move on to the next one. K equals 1. We run the test again, and the result for S1 is also 0. Okay, that's 2 for 2. Is this just a coincidence, or are we seeing a pattern here?
Yep, it's definitely a pattern. As we just fly through the next few, S2 is 0, S3 is 0, S4 is 0. So we're 5 clues in, and we've got nothing, just a bunch of zeros. You know, it's starting to feel like we've hit a total dead end. Are all our leads going to be this cold? But then we get to k equals 5, and everything changes. Bam! The pattern just shatters. We finally find a clue that isn't 0, and it's not just some small number, it's a massive value. Almost 14 million times 12 to the 6th power. This is our first major break in the case. So you'd think after a breakthrough like that, the case would just blow wide open, right? Well, not exactly. We keep going. S6, it's 0. S7, also 0. S8, 9, and 10, all of them, back to 0. We're right back in that same pattern, which makes that one huge number we found look even more important. Like it might be the only thing that actually matters. Okay, we're at the very end of our search. The last one, k equals 11. We run the theorem one final time, and we get another hit. A second absolutely massive non-zero clue. This one's negative, around 893 million times 12 to the 12th power. This is it, our second and final piece of critical evidence. So let's just recap. The main point here is that after all that work, after that entire investigation, out of 12 possible clues, only 2 of them actually mattered. Our whole case now boils down to S5 and S11. Everything else was just noise. All right, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time for the payoff. We're taking these clues we worked so hard to find back to that original crime scene. Let's see what happens when we put it all together. This is where the real magic of this theorem kicks in. See, it lets us completely rebuild that chaotic equation, but this time we're only using the S-value clues that we found. And remember, most of those clues were 0, so something pretty incredible is about to happen. Just watch this. As we substitute our S values back in, every single term that's connected to one of those 0 clues, poof, it just vanishes. They completely cancel each other out, disappearing from the equation and cleaning up that whole mess we started with. And this is all that's left. Can you believe it? All that complexity, all 13 of those crazy terms have been boiled down to just this. It's clean, it's simple, frankly, it's elegant. So what we've done is taken this tangled web of a mystery and turned it into a straightforward, solvable puzzle. Now it's time to step back and just appreciate how big of a transformation this really is. I mean, just look at this side-by-side comparison. On the one hand, you have the absolute beast of an equation we started with, and on the other, this beautiful, simple version we uncovered. It's the exact same equation, it's just that now its hidden structure has finally been revealed. The transformation is, well, it's just incredible. And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? The big takeaway here is that something that looked like a totally impossible wall of numbers is now just a straightforward problem. The real power wasn't just in crunching numbers to get an answer. It was in finding the right tool, the right key, to unlock the simplicity that was hiding there in plain sight the entire time. Which kind of leaves you with this final big thought, right? Okay, sure, this was a math problem. But this idea, this principle, it applies to, well, everything. It makes you wonder, what other ridiculously complex problems out there, in science, in technology, maybe even in our own lives, are just sitting there, waiting for someone to find the right secret weapon to reveal this simple